we were looking for our own sound. None of us wanted to sound like a bad version of the Sex Pistols or Susie and the Banshees or the Clash or all these great bands who had their own sound. We wanted to create our own sounds, and part of that for me was exploring different guitars. I was fascinated by the White Falcon, and I'd always seen it with Neil Young. I'd also seen it with AC/DC, and also with Bow Wow Wow when they came out. Up close and personal, I saw their first ever gig, and I just was more fascinated with the guitar than the 14-year-old girl singer and the amazing bass playing. The Gretsch thing was just me trying to experiment with the sound and try and find something unique to be creative with and make my own sound with Ian that we could identify as the Cult sound, I ended up with the Gretsch, and I did literally spend every penny I'd saved up and all that to get that guitar. When I finally got a full-time gig in a band, I joined a band called Theatre of Hate. Coincidentally, the singer, unbeknownst to me, played a Gretsch. He played a single anniversary, a green one with the pickup by the neck. And he asked me, when he came to my house before the audition for the band, he asked me, he said, what guitar? And at the time I was playing a Les Paul Jr. Couldn't be more opposite. It was a cherry double cutaway, blah, blah, because I couldn't get a yellow one like Johnny Thunders. And I'd had Les Pauls and this and that. Was my primary guitar was a Les Paul Custom, white, Steve Jones. I was into all that, And I ended up, and I said, well, if I got a gig in a band full time, I really want to get a Gretsch and I want to get a White Falcon. And then he revealed to me that he played a Gretsch. When I bought one, I just bought it from a store in England, imported from America. I didn't see it until I got it. It was like a special import used. And I liked it. I liked everything about it, except the pickups were horrible, weak and just lifeless. So the idea was just to take my 70s Falcon and use that as the basis and the inspiration for a modern day guitar that has some of the issues that were negative resolved, such as the pickup and just simple stuff, pinning the bridge down so that it doesn't slide when you rest on it and palm mute, just stuff that I normally do. But most of the things about that guitar were good. There wasn't much to fix. The weight, the feel was all excellent, and then there were some aesthetic issues about I pushed to get a silver sparkle and nickel hardware, and because all the other Gretches were gold, all the white ones. So I just wanted to make it based upon the fact that my 70s one was so beaten up that most of the gold's off it anyway. So I figured that it kind of looked almost silvery. That was kind of why I thought that. And then the guitar was just taken away and forensically, which was weird for me to give that guitar away because that's the She Soul Sanctuary, the only one I had for that period, and the whole Love album was recorded on it. And it was hard for me to give it up and it just went away. And I was like, oh, yeah, I had a bit of a shock. Anyway, it came. And the good news about it was the guitar came back amazing. It was really a perfect reproduction, and in fact, it's way better in many ways. They reverse engineered the pickup because the pickup was made by Seymour Duncan. Because in the 80s, there was no TV Jones making repro. Nobody was making repro Gretsch pickups you could just pop in. Seymour had to make them for you. And luckily, I'd got introduced to him and was kind of a friend. And he made me a pickup that I said I wanted a pickup that had kind of the bottom end like a Les Paul, so there's some chunk, but it kept the high-end sparkle that makes like a Gretsch so special. That sort of like, I kind of describe it as like a sound like in a church or something. It has a real glisten to the top end, but each has to be the same volume. You don't want it to be top end dominant or bottom end dominant. So that's kind of one of the things we do with the guitar. We throw in a joke towel with some Cult stuff and a signature on it because the idea, obviously semi-acoustic guitars, when you play rock with them, you need to kind of stuff the guitar a little bit. There's just a collector's thing, and you can put I've had various things stuffed in the guitars, but you do need to put stuff in them in a real live situation or they will just howl.